Boba Fett. All right, so I haven't seen the first three episodes still, and this is just my review of the fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh episodes. I saw the fourth episode because it just had the Mandalorian, and it was his backstory. So it was kind of like just a prequel to the third season that's going to come. So I had to watch that, and it was pretty good. That episode showed his his story about Mandalore and how all that stuff happened. So I liked that. But after that, it was the story of Luke and Grogu, and I loved that episode. I had some issues with it because they kind of relied too heavily on the Luke stuff. I much prefer that the story continues forward with Mandalorian and Grogu. So I'm glad that that was also there. But too much about Luke and stuff, I'm not really liking that. Although he's my favorite character and I should like that, but it's kind of like they are just relying on that to, to get people to watch and get more interest in that. But I can understand why they would do that because Boba Fett is not really that big of a character. So, you have to get something in there so that people watch it. So, from that aspect, I do think that was a good thing. But I think that they should have sprinkled all this throughout the season so people like me who weren't going to watch Boba Fett would actually give it a chance. But since the first three episodes didn't have anything, I could just easily skip those, and then I jumped right into the fourth episode and watched the rest of the show. And I didn't miss anything. Like I understood everything, and that was pretty good. So, Cad Bane, his introduction was also pretty good, but obviously he died like just in one episode, in the next episode. So that was a little bit disappointing. I hope he comes back somehow. You know that they showed him his thing was beeping, so maybe he'll be alive or something. But yeah, he was a great character, and obviously, um, I forget his name, the sheriff. He was
Cobb
Cobb
Vanth.
Vanth. Yeah, he was amazing as usual. I always love seeing more of him. And the Mandalorian, of course, is the center of all these shows. So it's always great seeing him. And even when he is fighting alongside Boba Fett, he just stands out and he shines. So it's always amazing seeing that. But yeah, the Luke stuff was also cool, and I enjoyed the half of Boba Fett.
Yeah. I have problems with the show, uh, but I watched episode one when everyone else did, and it was very slow. And I was like, okay, that was okay. Wasn't anything amazing, And episode two came, I didn't watch it. Then episode three came, and then I was like, okay, I'll just wait for every episode to drop so I can binge it because I just feel this series is going to be very slow. It's not Mando, it's not Baby Yoda, and stuff like that. So, but then, you know, of course, I was spoiled about Luke returning and that big episode and stuff like that, which I don't mind to be spoiled about this kind of stuff. I don't really get annoyed by it, but just an anticipation for the season finale, I binged the six prior episodes, and I'm glad I did. It actually, the story was more engaging with Boba Fett. It flowed a little bit better. Still slow, but it was a better binge than a week to week watching. And then going into the season finale, action packed stuff like that. But like, okay, the first three episodes, four episodes are about Boba Fett, and that's fine. It's about him getting out of the pit, how he became who he is right now, where he's been, stuff like that. That's fine. It's a Boba Fett story, but it felt like that they thought, well, Boba Fett isn't a big enough star to carry his own show, so we need to bring in Mando, we need to bring in Grogu, we need to bring in Luke, Cobb Vanth, Cad Bane, all these characters. And that's okay, you can do that. But I think the show was mismarketed. I think it was mistitled. It's called The Book of Boba Fett. If they had said something, if they called it something else, or even in the trailer, they had Mando, they had Baby Yoda, they had Luke, drop hints that they're going to be in this series, I think that would have been a lot better because I can guarantee you that there's people who watched episode one or episode two and thought this was too slow, maybe checked out. Or there is people out there that didn't watch this show because they're only a fan of Mando and Baby Yoda. Because
Like me.
I wasn't, yeah, yeah, but like I'm a I'm an average Star Wars fan, but I loved the Mandalorian series. I thought that was terrific. So much coolness in that,
Because
and
it was
Mando
all
was such an
new.
awesome character. Yeah, it was new, and I love that series so much. But the problem I have is season 2 of Mando ended with Grogu being taken by Luke Skywalker, and you had that emotional scene with Pedro Pascal. Terrific acting, fantastic ending, and you're like, what's going to happen next season? Like, what is going to happen? And they put important parts of season 3 into the Book of Boba Fett episode 5 and
Yeah.
6 and 7. I'm like, this is very unfair to fans who love The Mandalorian and only watch The Mandalorian or the movies, and they didn't watch Book of Boba Fett. They missed out on this reunion of the two characters. And I just think that doesn't sit right with me at all. Like, they'll probably fill it in season 3. They'll show us and like, this is what happened in the last episode. But I can guarantee you there'll be people watching Mandalorian season 3. They'll show us that they're reunited, and people will be like, when did this happen? When did this happen? So I don't think they should have did that, to be honest with you. Okay, have Mando, have Grogu, but don't have them get reunited. You can do that. But I didn't like how they threw in season 3 of Mando into the Book of Boba Fett.
From
It didn't make sense to me.
from our
No?
perspective, from the fans' perspective, I can totally understand that we will react like this, but it's totally Disney saying you have to watch Boba Fett. Come on now. They pull us into that show by showing all this in there because they know that Mando is big and Grogu is big and Luke is big. So if they want their other shows to be successful, they need to have the connections and stuff. It's what MCU also does, but MCU for Kevin Feige's main thing is that you don't have to watch all the movies to understand every single thing that's going on in the show, because if you just watch Falcon and Winter Soldier without watching any of the MCU movies, you'll still understand the main plot of the show, right? It's not like in episode 4 or 5 WandaVision episodes come in and you don't understand what's going on. So that's one thing I think the Boba Fett thing is different from the MCU, because this literally is completely different from Boba Fett. It's not even related. And then after 2 episodes, they finally got Mandalorian to come and join to fight him in the finale. I think this is kind of not how you should do it, but yeah.
It was, look, don't get me wrong, it's cool to see these characters pop up. And I think Jon Favreau is taking the MCU approach.
Yeah.
He's making Star Wars, Disney Plus into the MCU. Having characters pop up, cool cameos, stuff like that. It gets online engagement going. It rebuilds the brand of Star Wars. It kind of seems a little bit damaged amongst diehard fans. So Boba Fett has this big battle and he's getting a team together. So he recruits Mando, Cobb Vanth comes into it, Cad Bane comes into it, Luke is there, Ahsoka Tano is there as well. That's okay, but it felt like such a big thing to put into this series when Mando season 3 has to come and many fans are left on a cliffhanger of what's happening next. So I didn't
They'll
really
be
like that part.
confused
But
if they just watch the season premiere and Grogu is just there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Many fans missed out on a great reunion, which was emotional when Grogu jumped into Mando's arms. Like, that was emotional, but they're missing out on that. So I didn't like that at all. But yeah, Tamora Morrison as Boba Fett, he's terrific. He's fantastic, but he was put to the side a lot of the time. And even in the season finale, he's not in large majorities of it. But the season finale was action packed. It was just action for 40 minutes. Robert Rodriguez directed it. His type of action and stuff like that. It was cool on the surface, but it's like it's a series with cool moments instead of a really cool story. I loved the character of Cad Bane. It's such a cool character that I was like, they should have introduced this character in episode 1.
Exactly.
Even just a small scene and built it up. And like, who is this guy? Wow, he comes into a room and he says something like, "Where is Boba Fett?" And then it ends. Like, who's this guy? And then episode 2 is just a small scene of him getting a weapon or something. And then episode 3, there's him kind of on his journey to find Boba Fett. You drop little things and you're like, oh, this character's pretty cool. What's going on here? And then the interaction with him and Cobb Vanth. I think this is the best scene in the entire series, was the scene between Cobb Vanth and Cad Bane, the
Yeah.
standoff, like a western. They're getting ready to shoot. Should have been a little bit longer, but that was a cool scene. I knew that Cobb Vanth wasn't dead, because he got shot at the side and he kind of went to the ground. It didn't show him die or anything. And then the next episode, they have Boba Fett kill Cad Bane with no build up whatsoever. Yes, of course, I know there's the animated stuff, but not everybody watches
Yeah.
all of that. So there should have been more groundwork there to show these characters have history, and here's why, and this is why this kill is impactful, and this is why this is a big thing. But what I liked about the kill was Boba Fett is a bounty hunter, and he killed him. He didn't like keep him as a prisoner. He didn't show him mercy. He killed him because he's a bounty hunter. I like that. He didn't go back on his ways that he was brought up with. So that was cool. Yeah, Cobb Vanth being thrown in there. Like Cobb Vanth comes into episode 6, and he's killed off, and then the episode 7 post-credit scene is him alive in the chamber. It's just the show altogether just make that much sense. It has cool moments. I still enjoyed the series, but like from like a writing point of view and just a story point of view, it just make a lot of sense all of the time.
It's also weird because the same writers from Mandalorian wrote this.
Yeah, and like there's one thing then with the character of Boba Fett's like right-hand woman.
Agent May. Fennec.
Agent May. Fennec, yeah. She goes something like, maybe this isn't life for us, or something like that.
Yeah.
Or no, Boba Fett says that. Boba Fett's like, maybe this isn't for us.
Then
like,
why?
You just spent 7 episodes trying to be in the position that you're in right now, and you're saying maybe this isn't what I want to do.
Yeah.
And then Fennec is like, well, if we don't do it, who else will? It's I don't know. It seemed like an enjoyable, amazing moments mess. So